Today, this deer shot by Venison on opening day of the 2022 deer season is going to turn into some bacon and some sticks. Ben put a perfect lung shot on this deer. Did have an interesting feature. It was missing a roast. No, we wanted a Sunday roast. We've had this deer hanging for Saturday to a week and the following Monday. So whatever, how many ever days that is. But after been hanging a week and a day, we wanted a roast. So we chunked a roast off of it in the cooler. Otherwise, I'm gonna run point on this one, cut out the chops and the tenderloin, and Ben and the rest of the gang are gonna do all the trimming. So let's just get started. Fun little fact. This is about the, I don't know, 4th or 5th deer I've ever really processed from start to finish, because Seth always does all the cutting. And the bandsaw is not set up today, so we're doing all this with the handsaw. Flex on, that's what they, that's that, like that TikTok where the lady's like, ow! 30 pounds of trim. This is gonna be some Cajun sticks with hot pepper cheese, some bacon, so we're gonna split it up. Jerky, chops, and you cut some stir fry. So, nice tender cut deer. Let's make some sticks. It's processing day, so today we're gonna be using our spices from our DIY category and the made with meat equipment. So some new equipment to feature. These are unique in really only one sense, not any different sizes here, but what's unique about them is they have a double grind system built in the head. So these grinders, so one pass through these grinders is gonna give us both a coarse grind and a fine grind. Seasoning, you remember Benson said that he wanted Cajun. So we've got a 13-ounce pack that's going to be perfect for 25 pounds for his Cajun sticks. We're going to be putting high temp hot pepper cheese and a pack of our pink cure. So that right there, along with the casings, is going to do our 25 pounds of Cajun sticks. Seth did a little freezer clean out, and he has 12.5 pounds of already ground deer. It's already in ground blocks. And we're gonna mix a half pack of our maple seasoning and a half pack of our jalapeno pepper and powder, along with a little bit of hickory pink smoke. Cure. He wants some hickory smoke and some casings, and we're gonna make some sweet and smoky and a little bit tangy.
We're going to show you how with these DIY kits, you can pretty much a la carte them however you want, and you can mix it up, get creative with it, make some really tasty items. Scott mentioned the new grinders. If you've seen any of our previous videos, you know that the biggest portion to the process that takes the longest is actually doing your multiple grinds. We'll be able to eliminate that with these new grinders. We've got some venison in the cooler. Let's get started.
So the 25 pounds of venison trim that we saved from Ben's deer, we just sealed it up in one big bag. We just need 1 pack of our sodium nitrite pink cure, 1 pack of our Cajun seasoning. Cajun is one of our favorites to add to a stick. It gives it a nice peppery flavor. The same spice that's in here is in the 4-pound bag, is now in a 13-ounce bag, and that's just for convenience, so that way you can just have it pre-measured and ready to go in there.
So you said 25 pounds. How much of that's venison and how much pork did you add for sticks?
Oh, roll the tape back, Spencer. No, I put 20% pork, so I'm tired of doing math on camera because every time I do math on camera, somebody gets their calculator out. So I have...
Just put enough pork in it till it looks good.
I have 20 pounds of venison and 5 pounds of pork. So we'll hand blend this, get those spices nice and mixed into that trim, pick up everything. When we grind, that's gonna really incorporate those spices nice for us. I'm gonna get some down in that worm so we can get some nice action. Ain't that beautiful?
First time using the dual grind feature with Meet Your Maker's new grinder. That's one pass through the grinder, through a coarse plate, through a medium plate, and look at that. That's the perfect grind for sticks right there. One pass. Talk about saving some time.
Told them kids to keep those chunks smaller when they were boning this out, but yeah, these, I tell them golf ball size pieces. Tell most people that. These are like tennis balls.
These pieces are they're the same size that we send through our commercial grinder here at the shop.
Yeah, look at this. Look what they done did.
Kids.
See if it'll take it.
We're gonna put it to the test.
There it goes.
That dual grind feature is awesome. That is slick.
Just found a bone. Kids.
Darn kids.
They got a long way to go before they beat the old mans, don't they, Seth?
Yep.
Coming to the end. Look at that. Beautiful grind.
One pass, 2 grinds.
Cut our time in half. Super cold. Still cut down on that friction.
Ready to go right in the stuffer.
Now the fun part, we get to add the cheese. 2.5 pound bag, which is gonna be 10%. I can do the math on 10% all day long. That's an easy one. But 2.5 pound bag of cheese into our 25 pounds. So I am gonna need some water. We're pretty tight, maybe 2 bottles. And so I just said something to him about needing water because when we go put this in a stuffer, we're gonna want some water. Make it go through our stuffing horn. You wanna go ahead and dump a bottle in there for me, please?
So Scott is using high temp cheese. This is a hot pepper cheese that it has a higher melting point. So you might think you can just cube up any hot pepper cheese. It may work, it's just not going to work near as well. You have to have that higher melting point cheese because that way it doesn't all ooze down into your sticks and it stays as a cube as you smoke it. So just a little FYI, it's crucial to use high temp cheese.
16.9 ounces of water.
You want 2?
Yeah, per bottle here. So we're gonna add over 33 ounces of water here. We do that because now that this mixture is, I guess you could say, lubricated, and that's what we need in order to go through our stuffer, or else it'll be too tight. We go about halfway, so we're up to 40 ounces here.
Yep.
About 40 ounces of water, and we're doing this by feel just because we mix this up in the shop enough. We know what it needs to be. It's just like mixing cement. You can add more water to it, but you can never take it out. So stop a little short of where you think you need to be. And if you need to add more, you can add more. What do you think, Seth?
I think it's ready for the stuffer.
I think my mouth's watering.
So Scott, Ben requested Cajun. So keep in mind, you can get original Cajun, Chipotle, and hot all in the same kit. So if you want to switch up your flavors, you're welcome to do that. Just
yeah, all flavors are
picking
available.
a different flavor.
Time to get it in a casing, 17 millimeter. We prefer the 17 millimeter, and it's what we sell on our website because it makes skinny stick. We have the made with meat stuffer. The 17 millimeter will not fit on the stuffing horn that was sent with the stuffer. This is a product that we bought off Amazon, 10 millimeter stuffing horn. So you need a 10 millimeter stuffing horn in order to fit the 17 millimeter on there. Seth had to slightly modify it.
So when you buy it off Amazon, it doesn't fit down into that plastic housing. So just a bench grinder, zip a little bit of that edge off, and it'll fit right in there. Now, if you had a larger casing, obviously you could use the plastic horn that comes with the stuffer. But we, like Scott mentioned, we like the 17 millimeter. Grab yourself. We'll throw a link in for the stuffing horn that's on Amazon. It's pretty handy.
Hey, I'm adding the rest of this water. I can tell from sitting here. Do you want to?
If you're feeling it, then yeah, we need it.
It tightened up a little bit in the.
The longer you sit and talk and wait and BS or whatever, it's going to tighten up on you. So just add some more water.
So now we are up to 3 16.9 fluid ounces.
You want to do the math?
Bottles of water. I'm not gonna try because every time I do math, it's somebody sits there with their calculator and they have plenty of time.
Load me up.
If we need to add more, we'll add more. Try to push some of that air out of there.
So this is a 15-pound stuffer from Made with Meat.
And we added 2.5 pounds of cheese.
That's what I was going to bring up. We added the 2.5 pounds of cheese. We added the ingredients. We also added the water. So you're not going to get it in two rounds with the stuffer. You're most likely going to have to do 3. So at this point, Scott left it down just a little bit from the top, which is great because then when we start our plunger down in there, it's not going to squish out over the edges. So we just simply put the stuffer in place and then just start cranking the handle down. And when you do that, there's an airlock release right here that you can take your finger and just push and let a little bit of that air out that's in the top. That way it doesn't blow the air into your casings and create a mess for you. So you definitely want to release that air coming out of the top of that stuffer. So 17 millimeter mahogany, so you can see that end, and then you can see this end. Start your casing going this direction, and then we'll just simply cut it in half. You can tie the ends of these if you want. We're gonna be laying these on the grill grate on our Grilla grill. It's not gonna be an issue. The product isn't really gonna fall out of the end since we're laying them on a grate. But yeah, we'll just get started. So usually just use the palm of your hand, use your fingers, and just put them around the end of the horn and just start filling these casings. And then just release the tension as the meat comes into the casing. That way you can get it filled nice and tight. You may not have to go to the gym after you do this because we're squeezing this product through a 10 millimeter stuffing horn.
My fingers are getting really tired. You're right, I won't be able to go to the gym.
So when you get to the end of your casing and you want to switch out a new piece, just remember to give your handle a crank back, about a crank or crank and a half or whatever. That way it takes the pressure off this and the meat doesn't continue to shoot out the horn. So here we go. We'll just go ahead and start a new piece of casing. And while I'm doing this, Scott's cutting these at 25 inches because we know that's what's going to fit our grill.
Guess what? The lug's 23 inches, so if I just coil it into the lug, I'm going to have them just about the right coils.
Pop that gas.
Just a little bit slower. Put your foot here so this thing don't move.
Some of that. You need to do the cranking, son.
Who, me?
It's your deer.
Slugging the whole
Right here, big
top
boy.
down.
And the dad
Do
tax.
you even have like?
Give me that, and then the dad tax.
Dad, don't crank this.
You have to show your muscle off there, Brady.
I didn't want my sleep again.
So this system seems to be working out the best. I'm doing the stuffing, Scott's doing the cranking. And we're nearing the end of our 25-pound batch. We've got a nice lug full of Cajun sticks with cheese. And these are gonna be going on the smoker here in no time. Come on over here, Benson. Come around back. Look at that. You think you can eat all those?
That's a
Are you gonna share?
Yeah.
Good answer. 25 pounds plus the weight of the cheese, plus the weight of the seasoning, plus the weight of the water, etc. In a 17 millimeter mahogany casing. Once we got our stuffing process dialed in with Scott doing the cranking, me doing the stuffing, it actually went pretty fast. Got the casings all filled up nice. Let's go get them on the smoker.
We have a new category, which is our DIY, and it includes casings, powders, dried jalapenos, dried fruit, our base flavors for bratwurst, for summer sausage, for sticks, our maple seasoning, which is absolutely amazing, and does some of our bratwurst and our breakfast sausages, bearded butcher blend, and our 4 main flavors, and then high temp cheese. What we have in front of us will do a majority of our white feather meats products, and we're opening it up for DIY because
we've spent the last 25 years developing these spices. These are the ones that we use in our commercial setting. We've also used these in our garage type environment at home, whether you're making brats, sticks, you name it. Now it's time to take our favorite products, get them into your hands so you can enjoy some of these incredible items.
we're running dual smokers today, so that way we can get batches through here as needed. So we're just gonna put on here what will fit, cook them up, do it all over again.
Dual smokers, hickory wood pellets. What temperature we want to set these at? Looks like 180.
So we got them as low as they will go.
And then we'll stair step them.
I want to keep the bends as straight as possible, if that makes any sense. They can just barely be touching. That way we fit them all on there.
We're gonna piggyback the sweet and smoky jalapeno smokies onto the back of the processing day here. I need to split these down for 12.5 pounds because we already have previously ground pork. So I'm just weighing out 17.5 ounces. Basically, I just put my bowl on my scale and I tared it, and that way I can weigh everything out as half. I can set these back for another processing day.
It smells like we're making cookies.
Doesn't it? It's always great when you start working with this stuff. So I'm gonna add 1.5 of the hickory smoke powder. The jalapenos are gonna get added into the mixture after we blend the powdery spices in there. 1 ounce of pink cure, so I need half an ounce.
So Scott mixed up the dry spices as you saw, and it worked out great because I have some ground deer meat here. It looks like this was a deer that I shot back in 2020, judging by the tag that was on it. So ground meat from 2020. This is a great way to repurpose ground products that you may have in your freezer from a season or a season, 2 seasons ago. Vacuum sealed, no freezer burn, anything like that. So if you find yourself just not using as much ground meat as you thought you were going to, go ahead and get it out of the freezer, repurpose it into some sticks or something like that. So this is a great way for us to show you how we can take a pre-ground product and make something absolutely delicious that we know is going to get eaten by the entire family and all your friends. So I'm just going to get these opened up, get them into the lug, and then we'll start mixing. So this product, it's a little bit tight from being in the freezer. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with dumping a little bit of water in here. So we'll just go by feel. So we're not gonna weigh out the water and anything like that. But we're going to go ahead and just get this ground meat broke up a little bit. Add a little bit of water. I've got about a half of a bottle here. Before we start mixing our seasonings in it, because it's just going to make it more pliable and easier to work. So we feel like the seasonings definitely mix in better when you add it to the trim and then you grind it. However, this process certainly works. It works really good. You just have to make sure that you do a really good job mixing. So maybe what I'll do is, as I'm mixing, I'll have Scott add the ingredients to my mix. That way,
Is that my
we
cue?
can. It is your cue. That way we can blend it real nice. So I'll just continue to keep mixing as Scott's dumping the seasonings in. I'll go ahead and take a little more. Yep, that's good. So after you get your seasonings blended in real nice, we can go ahead and add our dried jalapenos. We did have 12.5 pounds of meat that we started with. So a half of a batch of one of our DIY kits. You can see that nice ground meat mixture has the jalapenos all mixed in there. Now it's time to just get started stuffing. $12.5 pounds. Now it's time to go get them on the smoker. Cajun sticks are on that grilla, and we're gonna put the sweet and smoky spicy on this grilla. It's always great to have a good assistant. Lissa, she's getting everything cleaned up because we had raw product on the shelf, and when we're done, we're gonna have cooked. So we want to clean the surface in between that. So the 12.5 pounds of sweet, smoky, and spicy, they're on this grill. We're gonna keep an eye on them. Can't forget my probe. Gonna get the probe in there, 180 degrees, and we'll check back.
It's time to check in. We've been running at 180. Sticks are looking really good. Well, the grill's at 180. These internal are about 140. We've been doing a little spot checking with our handy dandy thermometer. Looking real nice. These are the Cajun with hot pepper. Those are the jalapeno sweet and smoky. About 3 hours in, probably about another hour to go. We're on track. The moment has arrived. We're finishing off the sweet and smoky jalapeno smokies. Our
Sweet, smoky, and spicy.
sweet, smoky, spicy. Our second batch of Cajun. We've been able to do about 12.5 pounds at a time. Both are running, both these batches are finished up at the same time. We hit 155, 156 internal.
So you did bump the temperature up a little bit.
Stair-stepped it at the end from 180 to 200 and then up to 220 to finish them off.
One thing we didn't stair step is the temperature outside because
No.
we're wearing sweatshirts now.
Stair-stepped it, but down.
It's supposed to be down into the freezing tonight, so it's getting chilly out here.
If you want, I can hold your lug or you hold your lug and I'll scoop
Why don't we
these
put
off
the
there.
tray, put the tray down, tip the tray down, and then I'll just do one of these and we'll just scoop them in there, and then we'll spritz them.
I'm gonna spray this bottom. We've just got cold water here in a sprayer. We're gonna spray them down a little bit to stop that cooking process.
Is that all of them?
That's your batch right there.
Nice. Boy, those smell good. I can smell that maple. Benson, you want a stick? These are yours.
There
Look
you
at
go.
that.
Give those a try, bud.
Enjoy. It's gonna be warm. You'll be okay.
I'll join you. Oh my.
How's that from the deer you got?
So hot. The cheese squirted right in my mouth and
Burnt your
through
lip?
my tongue.
Come to Papa. Only thing left to do, let them chill down a little bit in the fridge, get them chopped up. All chilled down, ready to cut up. So first batch of the Cajuns hanging behind me. We've got 2 lugs here of the Smokies. All we got to do, we like to get these all straightened out so when we cut them, we can get a few rows going at once. Start by trimming the ends here. Of course, these won't go to waste. And then we just pick a nice snack stick length.
Put about 8 or 10 sticks per bag. Make a nice family size, friend size pack.
And look at that, got to get that cheese, that nice high temp Cajun cheese cooked right in there. Ooh. Good, Ben?
What do you rate out of 10?
50.
3.1, I'm just kidding. 10.
Hey.
Easy now, boy.
We make this exact same stick commercially out of beef for our store, and those are Ben's favorites. So.
Obviously different process, but same spices. We use the commercial grinders and commercial stuffers and smokehouse and etc. A successful day of making sticks, smokies, whatever you want to call them, snack sticks, using Meet Your Maker. The double grind feature on this grinder is phenomenal. We absolutely loved it. The stuffer, the vacuum machine. We used the seasonings from our kits. We made the maple, we made the Cajun. You saw the process. We have some right out here in front of us. So
only thing left to do is try it. Look,
do a little
got a nice
taste test.
piece of cheese in there in the Cajun.
I'm gonna get one of each. You start with the Cajun.
Yeah. I love the peppery, and then that the peppery from the Cajun flavor, and then that smoothness of that hot pepper cheese comes in there.
Speaking of the cheese, we mentioned earlier about that high temp cheese. That's why you want to use high temp, because it keeps that definition of that cheese and doesn't, ooze out in the stick. Absolutely incredible. Sweet, smoky, spicy.
Opposite ends of the spectrum. This one's sweet right off the bat. Now some nice jalapeno,
Good flavor, both
spicy coming in there.
So this one you saw us grind on camera. This one we used a pre-ground product from a previous season. So we just want to show you some of the options that you can do to make sticks.
So we've got a double batch. Well, no, we have a 25-pound batch of the Cajun and a half batch of the sweet, smoky, spicy. Only thing left to do is finish packing it up. The whole family is going to enjoy this. Our deer, 2 deer already shot this season. Both have been processed. Both are getting mounted through by the family. Want to wish everybody a successful hunting season. Hope this video helped you learn a little bit more about what you can do with the right equipment, with the right seasonings, how you can turn out commercial quality products at home.
Make a product that you and your family and friends are truly going to enjoy. There's nothing worse than having product in your freezer that's been in there too long and unfortunately you have to discard it or something like that. Nobody wants to do that. So make something that you know you're going to eat, you know you're going to share, everybody's going to enjoy it. At the end of the day, that's why we do this. Faith, family, food. Get into the outdoors. Take a friend hunting, take a child hunting, get out there yourself, because we absolutely love it. This is a way, full circle, know where your food comes from. You harvested it. You made it into a product. Go make some yourself.
Thanks for watching The Bearded Butchers. We'll see you next time.
See ya.